how things are going? I don't think so. I would imagine it's something much more like there are a group of people that run policy, and they have meetings like what happened in the UK. I think Boris Johnson met with CEOs of something like some of the largest corporations in the world, or some of the largest banks in the world. I can't remember exactly what it was. And anyways, essentially they have these meetings where they introduce policy ideas and then allow the governments locally to implement them as they see fit, so that they're always allowed to stay in the shadows. Um, I don't know. Do I think that's true? I mean, I go back and forth on this, but the more and more that we see happening, for example, in Australia, that I see here in Canada, um, this now mandating, or this now redefining of what is fully vaccinated, all these things point to, yes, there is something much larger happening. And I mean, if you want to look, for example, at one of these in the shadows families like the Rothschilds, they own a percentage of every major bank in the world.
Oh, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Federal Reserve in the States. Over here in the UK, we have this thing called the Bank of England, which is effectively supposed to be, sort of government controlled money supply. And as soon as we hear the phrase Federal Reserve, we think it's the same thing, right? In America,
Mm-hmm.
but it isn't.
No.
It's a private bank that swallowed up all the small private banks when they handily happened to have the 1929 Wall Street crisis. Is when they bought most of the opposition banks were like bought out at that point. And it's in the, I think, who was it? So Thomas Jefferson said the worst thing you can do is to have a private organization run your money supply, which is exactly what's happened in the States.
Yeah.
It's like, I totally agree. I guess my one question really is it organized, and do they all work together, or is it just an archaic, lumbering political machine which people are taking advantage of? Or is the genuine sort of long-term complicity with an organized end goal?
I've got my own theory on that. It's like
Yeah,
a game.
go on.
It's been like the whole capitalism thing has been like a long game of Monopoly, right? What happens in Monopoly? You acquire as much property and everything else as possible, don't you? Well, what we've got now is basically a handful of companies that own everything already. We're already there. We've reached the end of the game of Monopoly now, and virtually. And you've got like BlackRock and Vanguard, big companies like that own so much stuff. They own like equivalent of bloody nations. That's how big they are. They're huge. So now they can dictate. They've got to the point where they can dictate everything, and that's just where we are in the world. So I suppose, like, would the reset is doing the opposite of what it should be doing. What we should be doing is breaking up all these big bloody companies into little bite-sized chunks owned by lots of different people, rather than these big companies. This is the problem. This is where we're at,
guys. We're coming up to a hard break, man. Hard break. In about a minute or two's time, and we've just managed to get out to a whole bunch of other places aside from dear old revolution.radio, freedomslips.com, people. We're also going out now, I think, on wakeupuk.net. God bless you, folks. And indeed, for the first time in about 3 months, going out to Fastbook, who, when I put out that interview with John O'Lupi, the Undertaker, who basically talked about the death spikes off the back of everybody getting chucked in the elderly people's homes, and then subsequently, according to him, off the back of the first vaccine rollout, according to him, they were the two death spikes. It's truth. Yeah, guess what? Another 3-month ban at Facebook. They banned me for 3 months. Anyway, we're back. We're back on Facebook, going around and about there on Wake Up UK. I think on YouTube, although I'm going to have to pull the plug probably before they pull the plug on me, because God, we're talking about all sorts of terrible things here and they can't take the truth. We are coming up to a hard break and the top of the hour. But before we do, I just want to say a very, very big shout out to a dear, dear friend of Daily Chaos, Christopher Baxter. God bless you, sir. In hospital. I know you've been unwell. I'm not going to go through the details because it's private. And we do not believe in quack sports. However, sir, God bless you. Get well soon. Get well soon. Bit of a break coming up. So if you want to take a pee, whatever, in the second half of this show, we're going to be talking about what other people, what is their reaction to what's going on. And I will try to stream the second half of this show as opposed to just 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, Daily Chaos, Olly Connelly. Ciao.
Listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Yeah, okay, so they have their commercial break, and I'm going to have mine. Just a couple of minutes. Look, if you do like Daily Chaos, I know I haven't been on for the last few weeks, and you know why? Because to be honest with you, I've been feeling so bloody negative.
Management would like to take a moment to thank the listeners and hosts for all their support that has made Revolution Radio one of the biggest platforms for free speech in an ever-growing dark world of censorship. Unfortunately, this platform for free speech has never been free.
Especially given
We
all the
need the
shadow
support
bans and all the
of
rest
the
of
people.
it. It can be
It
very,
is
very
the people
frustrating
like
indeed.
you.
But we
that
try,
keeps
we
the
will
station in the
prevail.
front lines
And
of
so,
the
look, if you do
against
like
tyranny
what I'm trying to do
oppression.
with Daily Chaos,
Please help support
please
Revolution Radio.
give us
so
some
free
support.
speech will
Yeah,
not be
give us some
silenced in a
support.
world that seems to be
I
going
sent somebody a
deaf
WhatsApp
to free
message
speech.
the other 2 or 3
With
weeks
your
ago, and
support,
he was kind of
we'll
like,
be
"What's
able
going
to
on?"
become
I
an
said,
even
"I
bigger
don't know.
pillar of light.
Maybe I'll just resign." And he came back to me and said, "That's a
Revolution
shame."
Radio,
I was shameful about it. I put out hundreds of shows. Yeah, hundreds of shows with Daily Breaks, Daily Chaos, and whatever. And basically made an enormous loss and whatever. You just do the best you can. Yeah, we're all of us doing the best we can, but it does cost time and money. It really does. So if you can support this show, if you do want me to be spending all of my time booking guest interviews, particularly whistleblowers, then please buymeacoffee.com/Daily Chaos. Please. That is my personal commercial break. Just a couple of show notes as well as we end this year and go into 2022. Because we've got one or two exciting things going on. Next week is Crimbo Karaoke, last show of the year, yeah. Crimbo Karaoke. No, where I will probably take the parochial a bit, yeah. But the bottom line is, come on, have a sing-song. Get your tonsils out. And if you can't sing, all the better. Great comedy radio. Comedy radio. So please, Crimbo Karaoke, that'll be this time, next week. And I will put out a promo. I know I didn't this week. I've been very, very lax. But also,
every Saturday,
you know what?
at 2
Daily Chaos
p.m.
has got a
here on
slightly revised
Studio
line
A
out for the
for
next
the
show run,
Scorpio
which
Conspiracy
starts
Show,
on the 6th of
where we
January,
discuss
the new show
the
run,
hidden
by the way.
agendas
Next week
that
is just a
impact
one-off
our
special,
lives
Christmas special.
and
Then
uncover the
back,
secret societies
proper,
and the
full stop,
shadowy elite
on the 6th
who
of
construct
January.
the
And on
reality
the 6th of
that we are
January,
supposed to believe.
joining me
So
as
be there
one of
Saturdays,
the
2 p.m.
honoured
Eastern
members
Time
of
here
Team
on
Chaos
Studio
is
A
none other than former
on
MEP
Revolution
UKIP's,
Radio. And learn what's really
yeah, apparently it
going
does.
down.
Economic spokesperson Bill Etheridge is joining this show as a member of this team, as one of my co-hosts. God bless you, Bill Etheridge, who says anything, Ollie, if we can help to get the message out there, to unite the troops. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? It's a nice idea. Right, let's see what's going on with
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio,
commercial break.
freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported radio station on the internet. Please help support this station so this battle can continue forward. Revolution Radio! The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Right, that's enough of that. Hey, Daily Chaos, Olly Connelly, God bless you. We're back with Revolution Radio. And also now, seeing as I tell you, my streaming software, guess what? Crashed just before the show. Yeah. So wakeupuk.net. It's good to have you on board and back with you and all the rest of it. And also around and about Facebook, amazing. Goodness gracious. I wonder whether or not they will allow me to do a single show in several months, as was the case last time, before they give me another 3-month streaming ban. I guess we will have to pull the plug on YouTube as soon as we start talking about anything remotely to do with the scamdemic. Oh yeah, guess what? I'm going to pull the plug now. YouTube, you should be over on Rumble. Yeah. ko.click/Rumble. That is where you need to go. Or to revolution.radio. Or to wakeupuk.net. I will be pulling the plug on YouTube. I haven't got any choice. What I want to know, and yeah, I will start with you, Predator Jeff. God bless you, mate. What I want to know, having discussed in the last half where we are now, comparing tyranny and all the rest of it between, what is it, Canada, UK, and Australia that we've got in the room here. What is the deal with people waking up? Or are they still completely brainwashed, taken in, frazzled, blah, blah, blah?
Well, if they're vaccinating 500,000 people a day, or whatever it is, that people are still fast asleep, aren't they? They haven't got a bloody clue. I mean, you know, it's. I think there's a percentage we've reached. We've reached critical mass, and it's not going to go. It's not going to go any higher than what it already has, I don't think. But for the awakened. But yeah, I wanted to congratulate you on that. Actually, how the hell did you manage to get a 3-month ban on Facebook? Because like I'm on a 1-month ban. That's the maximum I've ever been given, and I've had about 5 or 6 1-month bans. So
I'll tell you, you know what? It does bear talking about a little bit, just to give people a bit of an idea. Because I used to do a load of shows, daily Brexits on Facebook, and built up a community, and there were 25,000 people watching each show, not live, but watching the show, you know, post records or whatever. And then overnight, when they changed their algorithm, started shadow banning and what have you, that literally went down to about 300 to 400 people per show. Yeah, that is the power of what they can do, to let you build it, waste all of your time pissing around, building up a community, and then pull the rug from under you. Cheers, fascism. Guess what? I didn't bother with Facebook for months after that. And then John O'Loopy, who's an incredible bloke, the Undertaker chap, who was basically exposing what was going on in the nosing homes, in his opinion, but a qualified opinion, no, didn't have anything to lose. Oh, he's pretty much lost his business since, by the way. He came on, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to interview this guy live on Facebook, because this guy, he's got a hell of a story to tell. That story went out the day after 90-day ban for streaming. I could still be on Facebook, but I couldn't stream. It's incredible. It is amazing.
AI and algorithms and all that, what they can do with it. It's so much power. I mean, it's like, you know, in the old days, we used to say, if there's a company we didn't like, for example, we used to say, oh, boycott them. But if you've got like a handful of companies, what I was saying earlier on, like, it's so much power, because it's just 4 or 5 big parent companies that own the whole bloody world. So you think you're boycotting one company, and then you buy something from another company, and you're still falling into the same trap. So you haven't even got the power of boycotting nowadays. Even that's an illusion nowadays, you know?
No, that's right. Actually, Facebook is a good example of where we are conditioned, I suppose. I mean, it's a little bit different, because the thing about, I mean, for example, I despise Facebook, but I like people. I wouldn't call myself like, the most sociable person in the world. I'm not. I live in front of this screen pretty much, but I do like people, and the community of Facebook is awesome. Can't stand but the thing that keeps us there now are the other people on the platform.
Well, we got to somehow go over to other social platforms, haven't we? I mean, I use what's the other one I use? It's called Bastion. It used to be called PocketNet.
Oh.
You get paid for your posts in cryptocurrency, so.
Huh.
There's loads of things like that. Yeah, everything you should do online now, you should get paid for.
But
Everything.
the thing about, for example, I don't know, MeWe or Minds or whatever, and I mean, fantastic networks, but I mean, Gab certainly is. But the problem now is that you're kind of like singing to the choir, and the whole point about being on a place like Facebook is, I know it's not working, but or barely working, but trying to cut through that so that you're talking across you're having a dialogue across the aisle as much as possible, because that's really what we need to do now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Unless you get some sort of major big social platform where it basically takes away from the big ones like, Facebook. It's like the same with these companies, isn't it? They're just so big. They're just so big and powerful that they just got the monopoly on everything. It's, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, isn't it, basically?
Are you going to join?
Everything else is so small. It's got no massive following,
Are you going to join Donald Trump's new one next year when it launches, Truth Social?
Are they going to tell us to get vaccinated?
Probably not.
Because he is, isn't he? I don't. How can anybody trust him now when he keeps telling people to get vaccinated?
No. Like he's pro-choice.
Is he? Yeah, he is. He is.
So, yeah.
But
He is.
Surely he's also got advisors around him. I mean, he's a former president, for crying out loud. He was one of the people that was. Oh, hold on, Struth. I've definitely got to stop the stream on YouTube now. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, Steve, Shan, everybody else over there. Go to a network that doesn't censor us and isn't going to cut this channel entirely because I've got to pull the plug. Sorry.
It speaks the truth.
Yeah, that's YouTube gone. Go somewhere else. DailyChaos.news. If you're not sure where to watch the show. All right, there you go. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no. The thing. Yeah, sure. He is pro-choice, but